Well, this is a familiar face. Good morning.
That's so hot.
We are at Patrick's house, Steezy built. Who's this guy?
Richard, I'm pooping right now.
That's going in. You made the vlog.
We are going to be doing work to his G35 6-speed. For some reason, 2 years of the G35 have rear wheel steer. Obviously, we don't want that because we do skids and stuff. So he got a new subframe that we are going to swap into there, but we can't do it yet because we need bushings and everything for that subframe. So we're gonna take stuff off that subframe, get it ready to be put in. We're gonna spray it, and then probably tomorrow or sometime we will be ripping this subframe out and putting that one in. But while we wait, I do need to do one thing to the truck, which is put the amp on top of the sub so it doesn't overheat or anything, because right now it is behind the sub and obviously there's no air getting to it. So I'm also running 1 ohm systems, or maybe half ohm, so she's getting hot and I don't want there to be a fire. I really don't want to lose this truck at all, so we're just gonna put it on top so it gets some air and evacuates that. So don't mind all the crap that's in here. I'm running a 12-inch L7Q, and if I could get into my truck, of course not. And my amp, pull this tab. My amp is a older Hyphonics Zeus 1800. As you can tell, if you're into audio, this one is a lot bigger than the ones they sell today. So that, obviously you just saw, it's sandwiched between the sub and the seat, so it's not getting any air. Well, we need it to get air, so let's take the amp, pull it out, extend the wires if I need to, and put her right here. But I should probably clean this first. Before I do anything, I gotta show you guys my friend Patrick Steezy built his drift car. If you want to follow him, there's his Instagram. This thing has been an amazing car. He's the person that got me into drifting when I had my E39 before it burned to the ground. That's a whole story for another day, or I'll get into it later. But it is a E46. I believe it's a 2002. It is catless headers, straight pipe, 3-inch all the way back, so this thing is loud. A D&D steering wheel, NRG quick release. We have to have this stick, hydro. It also has a short throw shifter, long one, shifts crisp. He doesn't have a actual e-brake, so I got to keep it in gear so the car doesn't move. He has a DIY angle kit, which is just extending the tie rods and all that. He has this body kit. I don't remember the company that makes this body kit, but we do have the back bumper. This bumper got repaired, and side skirts and all that. It's waiting to be painted. He has the little Ganador mirrors, I believe is what they're called. This thing is sick, and if I can find some clips, I'll put them in right now. Okay, enough talking. Let's get to work on the truck, and then in a little bit we'll be getting to work on the subframe. Okay, so obviously the first thing you want to do is take all of this crap out so that I could actually have some room to work, and then pull this back a little bit so I can have some room to maneuver the amp back there and pull it up on top of here. And let's go disconnect the battery. So on mine, I have the factory terminals, so it's going to be an 8mm and a 1/4 inch ratchet. So let's grab that real quick. Pull that out. Let's see, let's find it right here. Now, some tools people will think are weird, but the weird ones are the most useful ones, like this one. You could lock it, unlock it, and put it in whatever variation you need, and it gets into weird tight spaces like this. So I'm only going to be disconnecting the power cable for the sub, just so, you know, nothing sparks or anything. And I'm not going to disconnect the battery fully because it'll reset all my saved settings for my head unit, all my tuning and stuff. And I have a really bad memory, so I will not remember any of it. So we're going to get that off right now. Switch it to tightening. And we're just gonna set it on there, leave it connected. And now it's time to move to the back and start on relocating the amp. So this is how my amp is set up right now. It's just kind of laid back here, but it's not getting any cooling agents, no air or whatever. So I'm gonna do my best to try to get it up and on top of the sub, but it looks like I'm gonna be fighting my RCAs. They're a little bit too short. All right, so this is kind of what it's gonna look like. I need to clean all the wiring up. So I think I'm gonna run this kind of on this or underneath it, something like that. The speaker wire, this I don't really care because it's gonna be behind everything. You can't see it. The other issue is going to be the power and ground wire that I just did in a hurry, and if those two touch, then that's a very bad situation. So I'm gonna run back to my house because I just remembered I have some RCAs. So I'm gonna run to my house, change out these RCAs real quick, and then get some wood screws, drill this thing down, rehook it back up, and then see how it looks. Okay, so I went to my house, found the RCAs, some electrical tape, and I got the wood screws to mount that to that. So we got to go in, pull the head unit out, and then rerun all the RCAs down back here to right there. Get everything off the head unit. You're gonna want to pop this little cover off. Once you get this cover off, now there's gonna be locking pins, and they're gonna be deep down in here. So you're gonna wanna get something in there. They make tools specific for this, but I'm just using a pick. You're gonna wanna get that in there and pull on the one side. Same for this side. Get in there. Hear it click. You're gonna wanna pull. You're just gonna work it back and forth until you get it out. Unless you have two people with the same pick, then it'd be a lot easier to pull it out, but Pat doesn't want to help me. So I'll be back when this is out. Okay, so head unit's out. RCAs are disconnected. Now I gotta find where I tucked them right here and just pull them out. And then we're gonna shove the new ones back up in here. Make sure to plug them in to the subwoofer one, as it says sub right there, and then rerun them over here, down here, and all the way back to the back. Okay, so these RCAs were bought a while ago, and they were way too short for my application, which is on a bigger SUV. So we're gonna unlock this, and as you can see down there, I had to run them just underneath the seat because of how short they were. And that's why these aren't gonna work for us. So just pull it out from right here. And then we're just gonna pull it all the way out. Now we're not gonna throw these away because I think I might use these in the wagon. The wagon's a little bit smaller, so these might work in the wagon. So we're gonna keep these, but we're gonna put the longer ones in my truck. So RCA cables are actually what make the sound from the head unit and all the music and stuff actually travel to the back to the amp, which then puts it into the sub for bass. So without RCAs, you're not going to get anything back there because it has no signal, no music going to it. So definitely make sure you get some good quality RCAs. These are from Blaupunk. They're not the best, but I have never had a problem with Blaupunk. I've had their amps before, been running their kits before, so you know, just put these in. All right, so RCAs are in and ran, and you can't even see where they are. RCAs are ran all the way to the back, and now we're going to mount the amp with those 4 screws. Okay, she is in. I think it looks 10 times better, and it's gonna get more air, cool this thing down some more so I could, well, play more. Pretty soon, I'm gonna be having the 2 L7Qs in the Q-Bomb box, and then obviously a bigger amp because I'm gonna need more power to push these things. So, let's plug everything back up, make sure there's no crackling, sparks and all that, nothing's touching, and then put all my crap back in here and hit the road. Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys back here, and I'm gonna go plug in the power wire for the amp, and you tell me if you hear any pops and bangs and see sparks or something. You hear anything? Okay, I think we're good, so let's button everything up here, back up, and then turn the truck on, play some music, and make sure everything works perfect. All right, that's all buttoned up. I'm gonna turn the key right now, make sure we're getting sound to the back, and then throw everything back in here. Well, as you can see, it works. I'm gonna put all this stuff back in the truck, and we are going to try to put this subframe for G35 in the back of a G35. All right, everything is back in. I am very pleased with the result because that means now my amp is going to be cooled. We're going to try to put this subframe in the G because we just picked it up, but we noticed it has some cracks. And this one runs all the way down under. Then you got one on this side too. So that's not going to be very safe to put in a car that's going to be doing, you know, the spinny boys. I'm going to try to put this side in first.
There's another way we can make this fit.
So as you could imagine, this kind of fits, but it's going to be difficult getting the other one in and getting this one out, and then vice versa. So we're not going to take that unless he puts it in his passenger seat, but I got to be there to help him lift this up and in and up and out. But I'm probably going to end it here for this video. We didn't get much done today, but I mean, we did do the amp relocation on my truck, and we attempted to do the subframe for the G. Thank you for watching. Go subscribe to Steve Z Built, and I'll see you in the next one.